Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
A pleasant morning to everyone. First and foremost, I would like to send my grateful thanks to Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala, God Almighty, who always provides us the power, encouragement, and protection all the time. Ladies and gentlemen, such a pleasure here. We are already entering the second day of the first International Light Health Student Conference 2021, held by Stikers Mitra Keluarga. In this breakout room 4, we will hear the plenary sessions from distinguished speakers. The first from Professor Dr. Hewan M. Rizal M. Damani, MRep, SCPSD, from the IPB University and Deputy of Research Training and Development of BKKBN, and with the topics of perspective and strategy in the food and nutrition towards prevention in triple burden malnutrition in Indonesia. And the second presenter from Arinda Nur Sartika, SGZ, MGZ, Coordinator of Stikers Mitra Keluarga Nutrition Bachelor Programs, with the topics of a review of diet quality assessment in nutrition through lifestyle. So ladies and gentlemen, now I introduce you to the first speaker, Professor Rizal Damani. Committee, please show the CV of him. Professor Rizal Damani, his current position as Deputy for Training, Research and Development, National Population and Family Planning Board of Indonesia or BKKBN, Professor of Community Nutrition of IPB University Bogor. His education graduated from Veterinary Medicine from IPB University, Master of Reproductive Science in Biology Reproductive from Monash University, Australia, and his PhD in Human Nutrition from Monash University, Australia. He has so many publications, scientific publications and awards. He also one of the best outstanding lecturer from the IPB University. So ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Professor Rizal Damani. Good morning, Professor.
Good morning. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you very much.
How are you, Professor Rizal Damani?
Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah, luar biasa.
Nice to meet you then. Thank you for a nice introduction, moderator.
Yes.
Dr. Guntari, ya. Dr.
Yes,
Guntari.
you are my best supervisor, Professor.
Nice long time no see.
Long time no see you.
Yeah, hope everything is going well with you.
Amin, inshallah.
Okay.
Professor, you have 30 minutes for your presentation, Professor Rizal Damani, for this topic. So please, time is yours.
Okay, thank you. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Good morning. May peace be upon us all. Thank you, moderator, for a nice introduction. So, distinguished guests, colleagues, and friends, ladies and gentlemen, in this occasion, allow me to present a presentation with theme, perspective and strategy in the food and nutrition towards prevention in triple burden malnutrition in Indonesia. Next slide. And my presentation today will consist of 4 main focus. The first is preface, and then I will talk a little bit about the stunting in Indonesia. And the third, the concept of convergence to accelerate stunting alleviation in Indonesia. And I will conclude with the effort to prevent and reduce stunting in Indonesia. So next slide, please. This is an introduction. And next slide. The stunting among children under 5 years, a global overview. From this data, we can see that globally, the number of stunting children is 114 million in 2019, but the condition of the East Asian Pacific including Indonesia, is in the third position. Even though in Asia Pacific, there was a very significant decrease compared to a year of 1990, but globally, we still contribute to the high rate of stunting. This indicates that there are still a lot of things that we need to do in an effort to reduce stunting rates, especially in Indonesia. Next slide, please. In 2012, the World Health Assembly approved a comprehensive implementation plan on maternal, infant, and young child nutrition that identified 6 global targets related to the priority nutrition outcomes to be achieved by 2025. Further, among 17 targets of Sustainable Development Goals established by the United Nations in 2015, the goal number 2 is aimed to achieve zero hunger by the year of 2030. This goal also focuses on reducing malnutrition and stunting by improving nutrition of all people. Next slide, please. So the framework shows that causes of malnutrition are multi-sectoral, embracing food, health, and caring practices. They are also classified as an immediate level, underlying basic causes immediate second, and another basic causes of societal level, whereby factors at one level influence other levels. The framework is used at national, district, and local levels to help plan effective actions to improve nutrition. It serves as a guide in assessing and analyzing the causes of the nutrition problem and helps in identifying the most appropriate mixture of actions. Next slide, I will talk about more detail in stunting in Indonesia. Next slide, please. So this is a triple burden in Indonesia. There have been many successes in economic and health development, but Indonesia is currently still faced with the transition to nutritional problems, or known as a triple burden of malnutrition in the form of persistent and chronic malnutrition. This nutritional problem affects a large part of the population. The 3 burdens of nutritional problems are: first is energy and protein deficiency, and second, micronutrient deficiency, and the third, the energy excess. Nutritional problems caused by lack of energy and protein intake appear with manifestation in the form of poor nutrition and stunting, which are still occur because they are above the threshold of health problems. However, nationally, it tends to improve. Riscus DAS in 2018 shows the prevalence of wasting and malnutrition, which is in 2013, was 19.6% in 2018. It fell to 17.7%. And the proportion of stunted toddlers in Indonesia is currently 30.8%, which previously was 37.2% in 2013. Meanwhile, in the condition of deficiency and excess of nutrition, there is still an additional burden in the form of micronutrients deficiencies, and even the prevalence tends to increase. This is reflected in the increasing number of anemia in pregnant women, which is in 2013 was 37.1%, in 2018 to 48.9%. The target of sustainable development is to reduce the prevalence of anemia in childbearing age by 50%. Next slide, please. So according to the UNICEF and the World Bank in 2016, Indonesia was ranked 5th in the world in stunting. Approximately 37% of children under 5 years in Indonesia are shorter than other children of their age, where 1 in 3 toddlers in Indonesia has stunted growth. The impact of this stunting is the emergence of other health problems in children, even causing deaths. Next slide, please. So this is the stunting in Indonesia challenges and problems. Besides low, some problems that has existed in Indonesia which could increase the risk of stunting in children, such as pregnant women with anemia, low birth weight and length, cases of premature baby born, child marriage, and birth spacing. We can see that all factors that increase the risk of stunting is still high, such as premature baby born with 675,000 cases, and birth spacing less than 24 months with the 663,000 cases. To reduce stunting, it is also necessary to reduce problems that can increase the risk of stunting. In the left side, we can see the figure that illustrates the fetal nutrition is an important link between poverty and the development of human capital. It shows that low birth weight babies without catch-up growth because of a lack of appropriate intervention will develop into stunted children and become adults with reduced human capital. As I mentioned earlier, that in our hands is the fate of the newborns and the future generation of Indonesia. Next slide. So according to Indonesia Basic Health Research Data, or RIKASDAS, the stunting rate in Indonesia has decreased actually from 37.2% in 2013 to 30.18% by 2018. Then it continued decreasing to 27.7% by 2019. However, the prevalence is still relatively high if compared to the World Health Organization standard, which at 20%. In 2021, the President of the Republic of Indonesia, Bapak Joko Widodo, has mandated the BKKBN to coordinate the stunting reduction program in Indonesia. The President targeted to reduce the stunting rate to 14% by 2024. It means that to achieve the target, Indonesia should to reduce the stunting rate at 2.7% each year from 2019 to 2024. Indeed, this target is very difficult, but it is not impossible to achieve as long as all parties involved have high commitments and good coordinations and take a concrete action to accelerate the reduction of stunting rates in Indonesia. Extraordinary action need also to be taken. It is not only about the target, but it also will determine the quality of Indonesian people in the future. In our hands is the fate of the newborns and the future generation. Next slide, please. So from this slide, we can see that there are significant regional differences of stunting cases in Indonesia. Subsequent studies found that in some locations, the rate of stunting in children reached 42%. 3 provinces with the highest prevalence are Nusa Tenggara Timur, and then West Sulawesi, and West Nusa Tenggara Barat, West Nusa Tenggara, and among 34 provinces, only 4 provinces that are in the medium level. Next slide, please. So, ladies and gentlemen, to accelerate the stunting reduction at national level, we have developed the National Strategy for Acceleration of Stunting Reduction. This strategy becomes a reference for ministries, agencies, provincial, regional governments, regencies, municipal governments, village governments, and stakeholders in the context of implementing the acceleration of stunting reduction. Next slide. So I will continue with the concept of convergence to accelerate stunting alleviation in Indonesia. Next slide, please. So BKKBN received a mandate from the President of the Republic of Indonesia as chairman of the accelerations of stunting reduction in Indonesia. In carrying out this task, BKKBN reinforces the use of networks with the principle of convergence, sustainable, utilizing networks, and based on collective principles to gain mutual understanding, support, and cooperation or mutual collaboration. Next slide, please. We have several convergence platforms for acceleration stunting reduction. This platform certainly notice to the current program reorientation, namely target degradation from 0.3 to 2.5%. Pandemic impact, decreasing of public purchasing power, and limitation of fiscal government capacity, remaining time 3.5 years. So first, client-centered approach type 1 requires integrated and sustainable services, which is focused on preventive effort and outreach. Reach families that have potentially to give birth to stunting children, to family life planning. Also followed by the integrated of monitoring and evaluation. Slide, please. Second, client-centered approach type 2, which every level of government from the central to the lowest level has a duty and role to play in reducing stunting. Each level of government remains principles on sustainable utilizing networks and based on collectively principles to gain mutual understanding, support, and cooperation or mutual collaboration. Next slide. Third, client-centered approach type 3, with strengthening public services by strengthening operational strategies and strengthening governance by strengthening government administrative strategies. So this strategy is supported by regulation and multi-sector involvement, the implementation of programs that do not overlap to other. Next slide. And fourth, client-centered approach type 4, multi-sector level model, which is the multi-level penetration model, focuses on cross-sector coordination patterns by taking into account the existing government system. Next slide, please. So the fifth, client-centered approach. Ecology model which focus on BKKBN program that prioritizes direct interaction with the community, such as group activities, surveys, as well as through family planning and reproductive health campaigns in both print and electronic media. Next slide, please. So, six, multi-level mutual cooperation with multi-sector to accelerate stunting reductions or convergence. This platform requires good coordination between all levels of BKKBN employees, from central to regional to all government and private sectors related to the efforts on reducing stunting. So next slide. So I will talk about the effort to prevent and reduce stunting. We have also strengthened the program implementation, focus on the incidence of anemia and micronutrient deficiency before marriage and before pregnancy, and then monitoring program women with the anemia and high risk of pregnant women to reduce the number of premature babies or intrauterine growth restriction. We also need to monitor the postpartum condition, from breastfeeding, family planning postpartum, to taking care of children under 5 years of age and children under 2 years of age. The program must be strengthened and well monitored. Next slide, please. We are also currently in the process of establishing the presidential regulation to accelerate the stunting reduction. There are 20 indicators as a target to achieve in 2024, with 9 specific interventions and 11 sensitive interventions. Specific interventions are activities that directly address the causes of stunting, while sensitive interventions are effective activities related to the indirect causes of stunting. The target of the interventions are teenagers or adolescents, pregnant mothers, interval or postpartum mothers, and also babies or toddlers. Next slide, please. Some efforts that have been implemented, especially by BKKBN, such as first, establishing a task force for stunting reduction. Second, conducting ambassador talks to gain knowledge and insight from international communities, which is expected to be beneficial to address stunting cases in Indonesia and to explore potential collaboration. The third, we also conduct various webinars activities involving communities until the grassroots level. And fourth, we are also currently conduct a training for provider. And the fifth, exploring potential collaboration with both national and international partners. BKKBN have also signed some MOUs on stunting reduction program. And the sixth, we also currently in the developing of Dahsyat. Dahsyat is dapur sehat untuk atasi stunting, or healthy kitchen to overcome stunting. Dahsyat aim to ensuring the availability and access of a healthy food for stunting children, especially pregnant women, breastfeeding mothers, and toddlers, as well as increasing knowledge related to balanced nutrition, especially for families at risk of stunting and also food bank. Among these, some activities are conducted with the universities, such as 100 professor talks on stunting, which has implemented throughout the 34 provinces. And then to have evidence-based, we conduct research We also collaborate with the partners and academia to do the research on stunting, including webinars on stunting. Next slide, please. So this is so about the 100 professor talks on stunting. We call it 100 PBS in Indonesia, 100 Profesor Bicara Stunting. So talking about the 100 professor talks on stunting, BKKBN and the Association of Indonesian Professors, or API, have conducted activity in the form of seminar which involving 100 professors from universities across 34 provinces throughout Indonesia. On the first week of July, this event was conducted already. This national seminar carries the theme Stunting Prevention and Reduction, a multidisciplinary views. This event also helped to commemorate the 28th National Family Day. The objective of this event is to sharing scientific views coming from different disciplines and enrich the information and knowledge of Indonesian families, especially in stunting prevention in Indonesia. Finally, the knowledge again can be applied to the field of BKKBN staffs, such as family planning counselor and PKK cadres, community-based organization cadres, and others. This is a breakthrough in determining fast action for stunting handling at the central and regional level. Next slide, please. So there are many variables involved that affect the degree of stunting reductions, such as the environment, behavior, and healthcare services, and others. In other words, the stunting reduction acceleration program need multi-sector collaboration and synergy between the government and the private partners. The activity of 100 professor talks on stunting have bring professors to share their scientific views on stunting reduction from different disciplines. This slide shows some seminar themes on stunting from multidisciplinary views, such as health, political, economy, education, communication, including religious views and others delivered at the seminar. Next slide, please. So this slide shows about the Dapur Sehat Atasi Stunting. So Dasyat is a community empowerment activities as an effort to fulfill balanced nutrition for families at risk of stunting, such families who have prospective brides, pregnant women, and breastfeeding mothers. Stunting under 5 years of age children and under 2 years of age children, especially those from underprivileged families. Dasyat will use local resources, including local food, combined with the resources or contributions from other partners. The objective of this Dasyat is to improve the quality of the nutritional intake of the community as an effort to accelerate stunting reduction rates through a confidence approach at the village level, Kampung Keluarga Berkualitas, or Quality Family Village developed by BKKBN. So the locus of interventions is at the villages level, especially those with a high number of stunting cases. We targeted that each village will have at least one Dasyat. Next slide. The outcome of Dasyat is, first, is the fulfillment of the traditional needs of stunting children, pregnant women or breastfeeding mothers, and families at risk of stunting. Second, families has knowledge and skills in preparing healthy and nutritious food based on local resources. And third, family welfare improvement through involvement in community business groups. Next slide. So this is the schematic views of the target and then locus and actors of Dasyat, dapur sehat untuk atasi stunting. So as an actor is a government at the village level through the development of local institution following the potential and needs of stunting handling at their village and surroundings. And then the target, I mentioned it already, and the locus is villages level, especially those with a high number of stunting cases. Next slide, please. Ladies and gentlemen, we are also currently exploring to establish a food bank, collecting foods from various sectors and distributes to malnourished by involving local communities. Food banking is expected also to fulfill the ingredient need of Dasyat program. So this is the last of my presentation. This is a kind of a promotion to encourage people to combating the stunting in the children. So next slide. Thank you very much for your kind attention. Billahi taufiq wal hidayah. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Back to you, moderator. Thank you.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you so much, Professor Damani, Professor Rizal Damani. Very great presentation and a very precise and complete program and activities implementations to reduce stunting. So this is our priorities, Professor, right, to accelerate the reduction of stunting in Indonesia.
Okay.
So ladies and gentlemen, dear participants, we are welcoming you to provide your bright questions here to Professor Rizal Damani according to this topic. You are able to provide your question by writing your name _ institution _ your question in the chat box. We'll be waiting for your questions here. All right. So we already have the first question, Professor, from Christy, student from Stikes Mitra Keluarga. The first question, from all the program that government have implemented, which one of the effective program to prevent triple burden of problems of malnutrition? And the second question, for now, is there any supplementation program like in the past supplementation of Taburia? She is inspired the past supplementation program. So now, what is the similar program? Okay, Professor.
Yeah, thank you for ask the question. So, which one is the priorities? All the nutritional problems, as I mentioned already, is on the priorities. But the stunting and then wasting and also the obesity, right? But at the moment, the government of Indonesia are more focused on how we can reducing the stunting, because currently the prevalence of stunting is relatively high. If I can say it's very high at 27.7%. So meaning from 100 delivery baby born, the 20% babies already stunting. From 1,000 of delivery babies, meaning 270 babies are already stunting. So this prevalence must be reduced. So since the WHO also make a standard that each country, the maximum level is 20. So at the moment in Indonesia is 27.7, and it's not easy to decreasing the prevalence level, you know. So as shown in the in my presentation, the table, it shows that actually the prevalence is stunting in Indonesia is decreasing, but the number of decreasing is too small. It's about 0.5 up to 1% only each year, now, within 3.5 years, we have to reduce the stunting from 27 up to 14%. So it means that each year we must reduce the stunting prevalence at least 2.7 up to 3% each year. So again, this is not only health sector responsible for this, since the causes of stunting is varies, from economic and then behavior and infrastructure and also health facilities, etc. So we need a kind of collaboration among institutions in Indonesia. And then about the taburia, sure, the taburia, we still use this kind of taburia, but we need more. We need more, we need more because a lot of studies have shown the result of consuming taburia, right? It's decreasing, but the behavior of the pregnant mothers or breastfeeding mothers in consuming the taburia is still need to be encouraged by the health worker. And as an addition, I think Dashat, Dashat Dapur Sehat untuk atasi stunting. This is the new what I call it then new intervention, new action program, right? That at least one village have one dashat. This dashat, this kitchen, I think will be organized by the society. So this is from society to the society by using, the local sources. So compared to other intervention like say a biscuit or cookies, so maybe some people feel it's a bit boring to consume cookies or crackers things every day. But by using local food sources, using local recipes, right, various menu can be provided through the Dashat program. But again, this Dashat also needs, active participation from many sectors. That's my point.
Yes, thank you, Professor. How many coverage in area in Indonesia to get to provide the shot? I mean, how many coverage in Indonesia for the area?
In our scenario, minimum there are three actors, right? The first one is midwife, is our staff, and the second one is the PKK, the PKK, the PKK mothers, and then the third is our cadre, the BKKB and cadres. And the office, our office in each province will support also by inviting, looking for support from other sources, like from the private sectors, and then we use the CSR, right, from the companies,
private sector,
and also from the, business corporation, to support the operational cost of the Dashat in its village, So this is a kind of convergence program in combating the stunting.
Okay, thank you so much, Professor. And now we have a second presentation from the participant. Very nice presentation, Professor. This is from Fahria, students of Stingas Mitra Keluarga. I would like to ask regarding anemia prevention that relate to stunting. Professor, is it possible government to promote iron folic acid supplementation for women of reproductive age, not only for adolescent girls or students? Is it possible government promote also provide IFA tablet for all women to reduce anemia?
Yeah, thank you for the question. Yes, I think the taburia and the tablets, tablet tambah darah in Indonesia, we call it. We still continue this program, but we will add more activities like from Dashat as I explained before. The previous program, the existing program, you know, TTD, tablet tambah darah, is still applicated in the regions. But through this, you know, again, yeah, many cases are reported that the, you know, the teenager, the school students, you know, they cheating, you know, to consume the tablet. You know? So this is another challenges, because you know, so that's why then we try to make a new approach by providing a dashat. So we'll support about the an iron source, right? Not the kind of tablet, because many cases are reported that you know, cheating, they don't eat it, but they throw it away, you know. So
I have specific experience, Professor, because I have ongoing research on IFA tablets in high stunting area and low stunting area, and this is kind of multi-year project because of pandemic. Yeah, because of pandemic. Yes, it's challenging to know from them how it's true for the consumption of the IFA. Yes, thank you. And then another one here, I want to ask is, this is from Wening Cahyani, Stingas Mitra Keluarga. I want to ask, is there any stakeholder that BKKBN engage for the Dahsyat program from food industry or industry?
Yes, certainly, yeah. Wening, certainly, yeah. But again, you know, since we also have local sources, abundance of local sources, you know, we will prioritize to using the local sources. From the, you know, industries things, if can, you know, we would be happy to have a kind of support, not a kind of product, but the support in other things, you know, like maybe training for the how to cook, you know, and then the raw material training, you know, and provide the funding things, yeah, rather than the product. Because if the product say about the cookies again, but it's okay, you know, as a combination, yeah. The cookies, etc., or the noodle things, and then we will create another food menu. So this is a challenge actually by for the universities or stickers
to collaborate
to make a kind of new recipe. What can we make from
develop a new recipe?
Develop new recipes, right? To support the local, because you know, in Java, maybe they prefer to have a kind of gado-gado in other islands. They don't like gado-gado like in Eastern Indonesia. They prefer to consume food with fish.
Yeah, it's kind of a local new recipe.
That's right. Yeah.
Okay. So, Professor, I will add one more question regarding Dahsyat. So, according to the life cycle that promotes stunting problem. So, many aspects talks about since the pregnant or since the preconception. So that's why the adolescents give a main role to prevent the stunting problem. So if you are talking about adolescents, how do you think about the second window of opportunity? Can we prevent stunting if we engage more activities with adolescents, Professor? And what is the expectation?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I think our target now, yeah, if talking about the combating stunting, I think our target now is for at the middle age generation, you know, the prospective husband and the prospective mothers. Based on the population census, the year of 2020, the census, the last census of Indonesian population, the structure of the population in Indonesia are dominated by the youngsters, the youth, the young generation. You know? So this young generation are very potential, yeah, for us to be targeted as our aim of the stunting reduction program. That's why the first target of our stunting reduction program is the pre-marriage couple, right? At least 3 months before the wedding ceremony. Yeah,
calon
3 months.
pengantin, yeah.
Yeah, calon pengantin. 3 months before the wedding day, we are going to check, to monitor about their health status. Is the, you know, the brides, yeah, the prospective wife is experiencing the anemia, or is the prospective husband having chronic diseases? And then after we examine those prospectives, we will give a recommendation, right? Say this girl should blah, 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 should consume this supplement first. We'll give the education and information and consultation with the health provider to these prospective brides. To the prospective husband, right? Also, same things will apply. So, you know, in Indonesia, most of the prospective brides more given attention to the pre-wedding photo session, you know? rather than to give attention to the health status, you know, to choose, and with the high cost, you know, a lot of money, taking photo and then rent a gown, the dress things, makeup thing, right? It will cost roughly in modern cities, I think, more than 20 million, right? With the provide the album and then the photo and the videos. But if we compare to the check of the health status, you know, it will cost you no more than 1 million, right? If you go to the lab, you know, laboratory, and then check your anemia status and other sensitive vitamin contents, both to the girl and the boy, you know, the cost, you know, is very cheap, right? But the result, the effect, if you are being examined and then consume the supplements, right? And then you will be healthier, and then you are ready to become a mother, become a father, and then you will be a pregnant mother, inshallah, and then deliver a healthy baby. So the 20 million, the 10 million of pre-wedding photo session should be considered by the young generation, you know, especially us as a nutritionist, you know, we should promote it through our family member, you know, encourage them to not only taking a photo session. It's okay to take a pre-wedding session, but please go to the laboratory to check your health status. If you have anemia, please, right, clear it first, and then you just go to the ijab kabul, inshallah.
Okay, inshallah. Amin. So since the speakers with keluarga mostly are students, mostly are women, so this is applied to you all. The message, the very good message for Professor Rizal Damani can also apply to me as well, Professor. Amin.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah. We still have maybe 9 minutes before 10. And if from you still have questions, please. Actually, I have many questions and I'm really excited to discuss with you, Professor, like a nostalgic moment. Yes. I have one more question. This is another one. Regarding the data, the distribution of the rate of stunting in Indonesia, in the province, I noticed that the highest place still remain in East area, in Nusa Tenggara Barat, Nusa Tenggara Timur, something like that. So until now, what are the core problems from that place to let us know and can resolve the problem effectively, Professor? Is that still mainly from the poverty or something like that, or maybe now have another factors?
Yes, thank you. As you know already, perhaps, right, there are three main, what do we call it, three disruptive situations at the moment currently, not only in Indonesia, but also globally. First one is climate change.
Yes.
Second one is about the IT 4.0. And the third is about the pandemic C-19. This is a three main disruptive situation globally. I'm not going to elaborate those three, but relate to the East or West Nusa Tenggara. I think the climate change, right, is one of the main factors, right? Have you been to Kupang?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet. Hopefully, sometime one day you can visit the Nusa Tenggara Timur. Then, so the situation about the water and then the climate change over there is very, very high. You know, so it and the second point is about the knowledge of the people, right? So from this point of view, so communication and then education and also knowledge things is very important for people in the eastern of Indonesia beside the climate change. So another strategy that have been developed by the BKKBN to combat this situation, we have developed a PIK. PIK, Pusat Informasi Kependudukan Remaja, or Center for Adolescent Information and Counseling, right? So PIK Remaja is a youth forum developed by us, BKKBN, long time ago, actually, 2007, as a means to provide information and counseling to adolescents about adolescents' reproductive health and the necessary life skills. So the program of PIK was later scaled up as a nationwide initiative. The objective of PIC-R is to facilitate a successful transition from adolescence to adulthood, laying a strong foundation for their future stages of development. So the program equips the adolescents with the necessary skills to plan their family life by delaying the age of first marriage to be 21 years old for women and 25 years old for men, and to promote a healthy lifestyle by saying no to drugs and premarital sex, right? So again, we more give priorities on the youngster, the young generation. So this PIC-R is established in high school, right? In high school, also in universities, right? Either common schools or also Islamic or religious schools throughout the Indonesia. So again, then about the knowledge of the youngsters also play a significant role in the combating the situation.
Okay, thank you so much, Professor. Yes, we still have last time for the question here. We have two questions. The first from Muhammad Ihsanuddin Azra, speaker keluarga. I have a question about obesity problem in Indonesia. What kind of program that has been implemented government to handling it? Thank you, Professor. And the second question is from Tasha. On pandemic era, at the time like this, is there an increased number of stunting figures in Indonesia? Maybe it's already mentioned in the slide. Because many business not good at now. The economy of people also decline, so it can affect people's consumption less. How to make strategy for government prevention?
Yeah, previous one about the obesity. Yeah, obesity. Yeah, nowadays, you know, because of the, as I mentioned earlier, about the information of technology 4.0, the era, you know, nowadays people are connected all globally, right? So information from any parts of the world can be received, can be read, can be listened by all people around the globe, right? These include about the behavior, yeah, lifestyle. For instance, you know, eating, you know, fast food products, you know, which is, as we know, as a nutritionist, these fast food products contain a high calorie, right? The talking about the obesity, meaning in general, is too much input and very less output. Yeah, eat the lots kind of food and not balance, and then less activity, right? Another lifestyle is like gaming, right? Gaming in the gadget things. There will be a competition actually, yeah, international competition, and Indonesia is the host to you know, to conduct the event, this international event, you know, gaming using the gadget things. So nowadays, not only in the big city but also in the villages, yeah, they play using the gadget and then gaming, right? And then less activity. Not like the previous generation or my generation, right? And when I was kid, you know, I climbed the you know, the trees and then running, yeah, playing game activities. Nowadays, children, they playing a kites by only by game, right? When I playing the kites outside the house and then running, you know, under the under the sun, right? But nowadays they playing a kite, you know, just using this handphone or gadget things. So the number of obesity is increasing, not only in the city, but also in the villages. So the how to solve this, again, this is knowledge of the parents, right? The first is knowledge of the parents. And unfortunately, many parents now, to avoid their children, crying or not, not quiet, they provide their children with the handphone, the gadget things. This is not good.
The exposure.
Yeah, the parents are very happy if their children, their kids can play, these gadget things, but they, again, with less activity. So these kind of things, are introduced and also teach to the prospective brides, during the 3 months before their marriage. So again, the solution is balanced diet, right? The balanced diet, input and output is in balance, and consume, various kind of foods, not in proportion. That's the response. The second one, what is the last one?
Okay.
Last question.
The last question is about Tasha. On pandemic era, is this already mentioned in the slide? There may be another question from Tasha. Because many business not good at now, the economy of people also decline, so it can affect people's consumption less. How to make strategy for government prevention?
Many business not good at now, the economy of people also decline, so it can affect people's consumption less. How to make strategy for? So that's good, Tasha.
Economic approach.
The question, yeah. We also have a kind of program, right? I mentioned earlier about the village of prospective family. In Indonesia, we call it the kampung keluarga berkualitas, right? The quality family, Tasha. So in the quality family, we encourage the family to, for example, to use the pekarangan, the backyard, by planting various kind of healthy plants, right? Like ginger, right? And then chili trees, and then also the organic things. The organics, it's very simple actually. Just use the kind of pipe and then the soil things, and then can be planted by various kind of vegetables, right? So this is our kind of interventions that are commonly practiced by the family at the village level. Not only the village, I think, but also in the city, since the supermarket, right, there are closed things, so, but we need a kind of food then, right? So we encourage, we promote the family for us at BKKBN, right? By using the backyard or pekarangan, by planting nutritious food so they can consume it with their family. Thank you, Tasha.
Okay. Thank you so much, Professor Rizal Damani. We have some amazing presentation from you and very clear discussion also. So I'd like to thank you very much for your coming here to our first international conference by Speakers Mitra Keluarga. Yeah. Thank you so much, Professor.
Yes, I hope to see you again one day. Thank you. Salam warahmatullah. Thank you very much. Okay.
So ladies and gentlemen, now we are entering to the second presentation. Will be delivered by Mrs. Arinda Nursatika, SGZ MDZ, Coordinator of Speakers Mitra Keluarga Nutrition Bachelor Program, with the topics of a review of diet quality assessment in nutrition through life cycle. So please welcome Mrs. Arinda Nursatika. The committee, please show the CV of her. Mrs. Arinda Nursatika, her expertise is public health and nutrition enthusiast. Yes. She was born on August 16. She is married. and her language in Bahasa, in English, and her academic background, graduated from Universitas Gajah Mada in 2015 for her bachelor program in nutrition and for master program of nutrition from Universitas Indonesia in 2018, Faculty of Medicine, collaborated with Selmi Orekpon. And she have many achievements and work and voluntary experiences. She got second winner of National Public Poster Competition for Nutrition Student in Malang, Indonesia in 2015, and awardee of DAAD, Deutscher Akademischer Austauschdienst Scholarship 2017, Jakarta, Indonesia. She already have a training experience in 2016, Global Health True Leaders Batch 7 by Indonesia One Health University Network. And in 2017, the ASEAN European Academic University Network Student Weeks. And the results of her, maybe I cannot mention one by one, so many research experience and also work and voluntary experiences. And her current position now as the coordinator of Stikas Mitra Keluarga Nutrition Bachelor Program. So without further notice, let's please welcome Mrs. Arinda Nusatika. Good morning, Mrs. Arinda.
Morning.
How are you?
Very fine.
Okay, a pleasant morning for you. Thank you for coming here. And we would like to hear from you. Topics a review of diet quality assessment in nutrition through life cycle. So you have 30 minutes for your presentation. So please, time is yours.
Okay, thank you for the opportunity. Good morning, everyone. Let me share the screen first. Okay. Yeah. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Greeting for all of us. Thank you for the opportunity in this morning. Still morning, yeah, I guess. Okay. Previously, we already very good presentation, very nice presentation from the Professor Rizal, and now my turn to present. Maybe this is for some people, this is a new topic, but I think for the others, this is I already know. But yeah, we try to to update. Yeah, we can discuss more later after I present my presentation. Okay, a review of diet quality assessment. This is for the International Health Student Conference. Okay, the content, I will talk first about the definition of diet and diet quality, and then I will continue with the various assessment of a diet quality and the challenge of the diet quality study. Okay, first of all, what do you think if I ask, actually, what is diet? Maybe people will say diet is for losing weight, some people. The other said, no, diet is what we eat every day. For the nutrition field, for the nutrition student, for the nutritionist, actually diet is food or drinks that habitually consume. But still, yeah, there is a people say diet for the losing weight only. Yeah, this is the definition that I found from the Cambridge Dictionary and Oxford Dictionary. Yeah, we cannot we cannot deny, we cannot, no, diet is the first one definition, or the second one. But yeah, this is actually what is diet. But in my opinion, I will say diet is what we eat, what we drink every day as a habitual habitually consume every day. Yeah, so not for only for the I want to losing my weight. No, not only for the to be slim. Yeah, but actually what we eat every day, it's a diet. So for the student, if you have a family that said lagi diet, yeah, are you in diet? No, diet actually is a pola makan, yeah. Diet adalah pola makan. Diet bukan artinya harus menurunkan berat badan, but for some reason, there is a medical reason, there is a diet for hypertension, diet for maybe there's a liver disease, or heart disease, there's a special typical diet. And then the next question about diet quality. If we read in the literature, actually there is no single static definition. The terminology is quite broad. Diet quality. Diet quality varies according to dietary custom, cultural context, locally available foods, and individual needs. For example, the age, maybe student range of age 18 to 21, different with your parents in 40, 50 years old, and then the sex, boy and girl, man and woman different, and the physical activity level. So we cannot determine only, this is a not good diet, because actually this is depend on the individual need as well. In general, high quality diet should meet the recommendation. If we have gizi seimbang, our guideline to eat balanced diet. Actually, in general, if we don't assess, one by one, what is a high quality diet? Simple. We answer if our diet is balanced diet or gizi seimbang. And a good diet should prevent from malnutrition. Remember, malnutrition not only undernutrition but also overnutrition. Some people sometimes forget malnutrition only about wasting, thin, underweight, but also the overnutrition. A good diet, should prevent from the obesity, should prevent from the overweight, and other condition, the excess fat. And if we have a look on the research in the literature, researcher use this kind of terminology in their study. First, healthy diet. We often read healthy diet, and then the second one is balanced diet. Nowadays, people talk more about the balanced diet, like our guideline, gizi seimbang. So not again, we don't talk about the previous slogan, 4 sehat 5 sempurna, but currently balanced diet. Not only Indonesia actually, but in other countries, they also mention the balanced diet. And then the third one is nutritious food, and then optimal nutrition, and functional food. And then the other one is overall health promoting diet and nutrient-rich food. But remember, people talk about superfood. Actually, there is no superfood. Maybe it's about the functional food, but not. There is no single food that can heal everything. Maybe you have a question, or maybe other people ask to you, ada nggak sih makanan tuh yang buat kita langsung jadi sehat? Is there any healthiest food? There is no single yes, I said healthiest, because it's about the functional food, food or beverage drink that can beneficial for our health, but not healthiest, This is the terminology used in a diet quality study. Okay, if I show you these two pictures, the first picture, Miss A, 27 years, with the weight 50 kilograms, and Miss E, 20 years, 45 kilograms. If we back to the basic of nutritional need, of course, we have to understand, but it is okay if they have different intake because they have different age, different body weight. But we see Miss A eat 2,000 kilocalories, yeah. But the note is she eats a lot of sugary food and fat, but less vegetable. However, Miss E with the similar, yeah, I said similar because 2,000 and 1,800 is close, yeah. But she eat fatty food in moderation, yeah. It means that not allowed, but in moderation. But and then the difference is she eat a lot of fruit, but same less vegetable. How we conclude which one is better? Which one has a good diet? Can we say from the energy intake or only from the type of food? Yeah, this is that's why we use diet quality index to measure diet, because diet is consists of complex food. Yeah, what I explained in this presentation is nutrition for the community, yeah, not for the patient in hospital. Yeah, it's different. Yeah, you switch your understanding about this. Yeah, this is for the community nutrition, different with the clinical nutrition for the hospital patient. Yeah. If we talk about this one, yeah, diet is consists of complex food. That's why diet quality index is preferable. Yeah. For the example, again, why? Because we cannot assume people have proper diet only from single indicator. What is single indicator? For example, only from the energy. If we have a look this one, yeah, can we say that Miss A better because she eat more than Miss E? No. Yeah. Can we say that Miss E better because she ate a lot of fruit? No. Yeah. We have to see all the components that is index. Yeah, index is different with indicator. Indicator only one. Yeah, but index is consists of more than one indicator. Yeah, that is index. People may eat the same amount of carbohydrate, eat the same amount of fruit, but maybe different type. Yeah, maybe the other example, the both girls eat 50 grams fat, same. Another example, yeah. But the first one eat avocado, tuna fish, yeah, and the other one eat junk food. Different, yeah, different type, but maybe similar amount of fat. Yeah, so that's why diet quality index is more preferable. And then in the diet quality study, most of them use this component. First one is the variety of food. So does she eat carbohydrate food groups, and then vegetable, and then protein source food from the type of food group. Yeah, the first one. Mostly the diet quality index use this. They will ask about the variety. Ya, mereka akan menanyakan tentang kelompok makanannya. Jadi yang pertama ditanyakan adalah food groups-nya. Ya, so the index asks about the food groups. And the second one is the portion size. Ya, remember diet is about type, and then portion, and then amount. That's why portion is will also assess. For example, we have recommendation to eat vegetable 3 until 4 portion per day. Yeah, there is portion. That's why portion is also important to be asked. And the third one is nutrient intake. And then the fourth is ratio. For example, for the ratio is for the fat intake. For the fat intake, saturated and unsaturated fatty acid. Yeah, we cannot, or we don't have, or we supposed to not eat only the saturated fatty acid, but also unsaturated fatty acid. That's why some of indices ask about the ratio from the carbohydrate, protein, and then fat. Yeah, I will talk more in the next slide. Okay, this is some existing diet assessment indices that I already find. Maybe more, yeah, but this is for the example. For the first, we can see diet quality index, yeah, and then there is a revised one, adapted diet quality index, revised diet quality index, and the new one is newest, but yeah, not really news, but later than the diet quality index, international diet quality index. And then there is a healthy eating index. Healthy eating index, there are some version in 2005, 10, and the last is 2015. And then for the population that eat Mediterranean style, there is index to assess the diet, Mediterranean diet score, and then Mediterranean, yeah, the other one, yeah, the others. And then for the overall nutritional quality index, healthy diet indicator, diet variety score, and diet diversity score. For the diet variety score and diet diversity score, this is index that asks the food group only. Yeah, the food group only. Okay, I will translate to student. Jadi ini adalah contoh indeks, ya, indeks pengukuran diet quality atau kualitas diet. Terdapat berbagai macam contoh, mulai dari yang paling atas diet quality index, kemudian healthy eating index, Mediterranean untuk populasi di Eropa yang menggunakan style diet Mediterranean, ya. Kemudian healthy diet indicator sampai di bawahnya diet diversity score, ya. Why I translate, because I want my student understand about this, ya. Okay, and then I will continue. Okay, the first index, healthy eating index, from the flag, or yeah, this is from the US government. The good one, yeah, I think US really as a good example for as a government that provide not only guidelines but also how to assess the diet. Yeah, the healthy eating index is a measure diet quality. Yeah, measure of diet quality used to assess how well as a set of food lines with the key recommendation. So, the U.S. government arranged the dietary guideline for the Americans. After that, they arrange the tools to assess it. I think it's very nice. Yeah, the government provide not only the guideline but also how to assess. Yeah, and the latest one is healthy eating index in 2015. Yeah, is made from the 13 components of different food group from the recommended eating guidelines. So this is the guideline is designed for the nutrition and health professional, yeah, to help from the toddler, I think, yeah, toddler until adult age in the later life. What should they eat, and then after that they make an instrument to assess. Okay, this is the component of healthy eating index. Remember, index is more than one indicator, so that's why we don't only use, maybe if we remember in the basic nutritional assessment for the dietary, energy, protein, carbohydrate, fat, not only that, but the other one. If we talk about index, in the US government, they put two big topic, this one, the two big canon, adequacy, kecukupan, and then for the moderation or moderasi. Yeah. And adequacy, these tools ask about how many portion they eat fruit, whole fruits, total vegetable, green and beans, whole grains, dairy, until fatty acid. And in moderation is all about food that should be restricted, refined grains, and then sodium, and then added sugar and saturated fat. They score, and then they can, they score, and then they can conclude about the score. This is what I said before, that they have in 2010 the guidelines and the before, and then this is the news version, and I think they will make a new one, because in the website they mentioned coming in 2022 they will make the new healthy eating index. Yeah, because they already arranged the dietary guideline for 2020 until 2025. Yeah, I think this is very good countries that really pay attention for the guidelines and how to assess diet. And the other countries try to make the adapted version. For example, for the Brazil, and then I think this is for alternative. I think Singapore already make also the study about this, and then this is for Malaysia, and this is for the Canada. So there is countries that try to make the adapted version with their population. How about Indonesia? Actually, our government didn't mention what is actually index gizi seimbang, but some researcher already did, yeah, from the IDB University, I think, and some in food industry, they collaborated to make a study about index gizi seimbang. And from the Amrin et al., this is the example study index gizi seimbang for the man adult, yeah, if I'm not mistaken, yeah. So there are the other version for the woman and for the adolescent, if I'm not mistaken, yeah. But this is not clearly, this is not mentioned by our government, but researcher from Indonesia, yeah, different with US government. The healthy eating index is from the government. And the other is diet quality index. Yeah, the first version is diet quality index in 1994. Yeah, so they have a range score 0 until 16. So 0 excellent. Yeah, so if I can have score 0, it's excellent. Different with other index. Some index, the higher score is the better diet, but in this diet quality index, the lower score is the better diet, yeah. And 16 is for poor diet. Okay, and then later there is a revised version in 1999, and then the newest one in 2003 is developed by Kim et al. Yeah, Kim and friends, Diet Quality Index International, or diet DQII. Yeah, this Diet Quality Index International developed to compare diet across countries. Yeah, if we have a look on the studies about diet quality, most of them focus on diet population. For example, Mediterranean diet, and then, for example, the health for the American. But Kim et al. Tried to make an index that can compare across countries, across population. Yeah, so we can compare it. And I have experience using these tools. The Quality Index International. It's quite yeah, a challenge for us if you want to have a study about this, because there are 4 components. The first component is variety. Yeah, a variety. In this variety, this tool asks about what food group our sample, our respondent eat. Yeah, if you have a study, and then the other one is within group variety about the protein source food. And then the component is adequacy. This tool highlight about vegetable group, and then fruit group, grain and fiber. And then for the other one is protein, and then iron, calcium, and vitamin C. And then for the third is moderation. It's about that we have to be restricted or eat with in moderation, like the title, moderation. Total fat, saturated fat, cholesterol, sodium, and empty calories. Yeah, empty calories is what we should understand about empty calories is food that actually to conclude this food is empty calorie or not is quite difficult, because we have to pay attention on the nutrient inside that food. Yeah, but the easiest example, but I don't say for this is for general, is chips or kerupuk. Ya, tapi saya tidak mengatakan seluruh kerupuk adalah empty calories, tapi yang paling mendekati. So the example is empty calories, ya, food that have high energy but limited source of other nutrient. And then overall balance. Overall balance is more about the ratio of macronutrient ratio, and then fatty acid ratio. Yeah, this tool is good. This tool is very because we don't only use how many fat we eat, but also the content inside. Yeah, the PUFA, MUFA, and SFA, the saturated fat acid.
Mrs. Arinda, your remaining time is 5 minutes.
Okay, thank you. Okay, I will continue. And then the other is healthy diet indicator. The healthy diet indicator is similar with the other one, index. But this is arranged by the recommendation from the WHO for the chronic disease prevention. We can see here, some food that should be limited, and also what should be eat more, right? Like a fiber and fruits, and then it's about the fat, cholesterol, and saturated fatty acid. And then the last is diet diversity. Diet diversity atau keragaman pangan can be used for the assess children diet, mostly diet diversity score. Biasanya digunakan namanya DDS, Diet Diversity Score. But the other, we can also use for the woman, woman of reproductive age. And we also can use in household insecurity studies, Jadi biasanya di penelitian-penelitian yang berkaitan dengan kerawanan pangan itu juga biasa menggunakan diet diversity. So this is the some comparison of the diet diversity score, final letter. This is the new one, newest one, and I already did a study about this, minimum diet diversity women, This is for women in 15 until 49 years. So this tool consists of, so we have a diet data for our respondent, and then we score by the food group. Yeah, they in this MDDW, it has 10 food group that we has to assess. Yeah, and then we can conclude if they have good diet if minimally they have, yeah, the maximum score is 10, yeah, 0 and 10. Good diet is start from 5 until 10. Yeah? And the result of my study, this one, sorry, yeah. Okay, this study conducted by my friend and I, and in Bekasi, ya, in for Back to B atau cabang Antin in Real Gears Affairs Office, we can see here that still a lot of women, yeah, a lot of women that do not meet the proper diet, yeah. I think it's more than 50%. They do not eat proper diet, yeah. The score is below 5, yeah. You can see that 10 group start with grain, pulses, nuts, dairy, meat until fruits, yeah. So we assess if they eat minimally 15 grams or 1 tablespoon, we can have give a score 1, and we calculate it. Okay, the question is actually what is the challenge of conducting diet quality study? We have to have a look on this step, yeah, for preparation to conduct a training to have a food database, and then for the data collection, yeah, please see again the level of objective to assess dietary assessment, yeah, in the what level. I remind you there are 4 levels, yeah, level 1 until 4, yeah, with the single recall and then the repeated recall, and then that what is repeated in subsample, repeated in all sample, and the other one for the correlation different approach. And then we use the we have a look on the data collection, data entry, yeah, and then the analysis, yeah. We can see that all of index have a score. So after we have, for example, food recall, we have to convert to portion to grams. It's what is it? Homework, yeah, big homework, yeah. That's why I call it a challenge for the conducting study with diet quality index. The benefit is, yeah, this is because a diet is complex, yeah, and then some researchers already proved that that indexes have a relationship with disease, but the limitation still longer time, and then it cannot be used for the hospital patient, yeah, different approach, and then the conclusion of good diet is varied, yeah, the cutoff is varied. Okay, this is my last slide. The conclusion is diet consists of complex food. Using more than indicators in terms of index to assess diet is more recommended than using measuring with a single indicator. Yeah, there are some indexes to assess diet quality, such as diet quality index, healthy eating index, healthy diet indicator, diet diversity, and others. To diet using index, it should assure quality of data by considering challenge from preparation until the data analysis. Also, before choosing index to measure diet, it is recommended to pay attention on the benefit and limitation of using index compared to a single indicator, also strength or weakness of each indices. I think that's all. Thank you for the opportunity. Thank you for thank you, and Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you for your amazing presentation, Mrs. Arida Nursatika. So now we are welcoming for the Q&A sessions for the participants. We are welcoming you to write down your question in the chat box. Maybe we could wait for a minute, Mrs. Arinda, for the question. Maybe the students try to typing the question now. And if you are willing to ask in Bahasa Indonesia, we are also welcome, and we try to accommodate your question for all students. So don't be afraid and don't be hesitant to ask. Okay, maybe as the opening question, Mrs. Arinda, I'm interested that you mentioned about your last research on MDDW tools in as a diet assessment tools. So, is there any data or the result of the study that shows when the pregnant woman or any woman of reproductive age have the lower MDDW? So, what's the impact of her? Or maybe have some survey that shown the results of the impact of this condition.
Okay, thank you for the question, Ms. Kentari. Okay, if we see in the MDDW tools for assess the diversity score for the woman, there are 10 group. 10 group or the maximum score is 10. And then the researcher mentioned that the minimum score is 5. Yeah, maybe if we understand why 5, actually this is not a simsalabim. Yeah, I mean not I want to put 5 as a minimum. Yeah, there is a study. Yeah, I mean a student have a question. What is actually 5 means? Yeah, they already did a study about that, and if they I mean the woman eat the less food. Yeah, I mean the diet is less varied. Yeah, lebih tidak beragam. Ya, they eat lebih they eat a less what this is variety of food, and then the source of vitamin and mineral is also less. Yeah, what is highlighted in diversity diet diversity studies about the micronutrient deficiencies. Yeah, I think it's related to the stunting prevention as well. Yeah, also the anemia as well. Yeah, if we can see the 10 component is quiet. Yeah, I mean I think women can eat or have a 10 score is rare, but minimally 5, because if they have 5, the risk of have micronutrient deficiency is less as well. And the micronutrient deficiencies relate to the anemia, and anemia relate to the stunting, relate to the the body weight of baby less than 2.5 kilograms when they born. And the other, and then maybe bleeding during the delivery. I think relate to the variety. So if they eat less than 5, they have higher risk to be micronutrient deficient. Okay.
Thank you so much, Mrs. Karinda. So now I have another question as well, according to your explanation. If we are talking about the variety, so we could know more in the quality, how the quality of the diet, right? So according to the micronutrient deficiency, what will happen if the less variety and the more exposure of micronutrient deficiency, right? So according to the study as have been conducted until now, is there any correlation between the dietary diversity score analysis with the condition of micronutrient deficiency in the specific groups? Do you have any information or any published article that mainly discuss about these things, about these two factors, dietary diversity and the micronutrient deficiency? Because this is our triple burden of malnutrition, right?
Yes, you're right. Yeah, there are some studies that already prove the relationship between the variety, between the diversity, and then the micronutrient deficiency. But I'm sorry, I forget to put the name of researcher. Ya, some researcher already mention it ya. Jadi sehingga untuk student ya, terdapat beberapa penelitian yang sudah membuktikan. So they already prove that this is serious problem if we eat only small or a little less variety of food. Only if we'll talk about the developing countries, yeah, it's different with the developed countries. Maybe people, for example, in Jakarta, or in a megapolitan city, there is a issue of the higher energy intake, but less of micronutrient intake. Ya, they only think about yang penting kenyang. Ya, I have a study with my friends ya, about the diet quality in pregnant mothers in DKI Jakarta. Ya, the study already published in PLOS ONE. I forget the big title. Yeah, actually I only help my friend as a third writer, third author. Already the study already, what is it? Proof that our pregnant mother eats a lot of carbohydrates. They eat more energy, but less vegetable, less fruit. Yeah. So have a look on our diet in our daily. Gorengan is a carbohydrate. Yeah. Mie instan, yeah, nasi, rice with instant noodle, with rice, with gorengan. Yeah. So it meets the energy, yes, but how about the other variety? How about the micronutrient? Yeah, it doesn't meet. Yeah, so the study already proof ya in DKI Jakarta. I think it's close to the Bekasi ya. Jadi I think this is a homework for homework for us, for the student ya, to be next nutritionist, to educate more our population to eat more, not only portion about rice, yeah, about fat, but also the variety. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Mrs. Arinda. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we're still waiting for the others' question, please. In the chat box, you may write down the questions.
Maybe you can ask in Bahasa.
Yeah,
it's
sure.
Okay.
If you want to ask in Bahasa, we will try to accommodate to translate it. So, Mrs. Arinda, based on your experience, do you recommend any specific dietary assessment tools if you want to do a research about this survey, this kind of survey? Do you recommend specific tools? Because there are so many tools internationally or based on the country's region, or even we also Indonesia have tried to develop the specific one. Do you have any specific recommendation, Mrs. Arinda?
Okay. To choose what is our tools, especially for student, what most recommended tools, a specific one. It depends on our resource first. Yeah. For example, if we want to use diet quality index international, there are 4 components. Yeah, we have a big data, master data. If we don't want to take a longer time, don't use that. But if you want, you have a resource, time, more people to help you, just do it. And then if you want the simple one is for the diet diversity. Yeah, because it's only as about the group, only about group. But again, there is a limitation as well, because if we ask only group, how about the actual intake? Yeah, so there is a challenge each index. But if I can recommend you use the diet quality index international, because the aim of Kim et al. Is to compare diet across population, across country. So we can compare Asian people with American and others.
So it's mean that if we have a survey based on dietary quality index international tools, so we may have a chance to be a part of meta-analysis study in the future, something like that. Yeah. Because it can be used for other countries to do meta-analysis somehow, maybe. Just a motivation. Yes. Okay.
Maybe motivation as well if you want to make a government to declare our gizi seimbang, index gizi seimbang to be used nationally. Yeah, I think IPB University already conduct a study, but maybe should be other study that we know that to use one tools we have to some research pilot study and the other one pilot, and then to be adapt. And I really hope there is index gizi seimbang in Indonesia that declared by our government, like a US government. So after they promote the guidelines, dietary guidelines for population, for the citizen, they already make the tools. It's very good example.
Yeah, we hope so. So, but anyways, basically in the practical, so the respondent in the survey needs to recall the foods a lot, right? Or maybe combination between recall and record. Do you think about the dietary quality index or healthy eating index? But I guess it's a lot in recall, right? Food recall.
Yeah. Again, to use recall and record, here is
So we will waiting for Mrs. Arinda to reconnect her network.
Okay.
Okay.
Sorry, Miss
Yes.
Gunda.
Yes, no problem, Mrs.
I have
Arinda.
a technical issue here. Okay. Okay, so if we have a look on the gold standard is food record, but some people, some researcher have to make a training first, yeah, and then if we can determine if weight food record or only estimate food record, it different. Also the challenge, and then the most the third one is for the food recall, but the food recall also has limitation. Limitation is for the they can forget what they eat. I think everything has a challenge, but uh, I think from the in my opinion from the literature I read, it is already good for use food recall, yeah, because we can see from the level of objective. Food recall can be used with the repeated food recall for the all sample for the level 3 of the dietary assessment study. So it is already proper if we use food recall. Yeah, so if we want to have maybe for relationship between diet quality and then disease or maybe with a nutritional problem, we can use the food recall twice, yeah, for each respondent. But if we only, yeah, I think a student have to remember, ya, because some student ask, Ibu sebaiknya saya pakai recall berulang semua atau gimana, ya. We need to see the level of objective, ya. If you only want to assess the risk, how many respondent that have they eat less energy. I mean, this is for the population at risk. It is enough for repeated recall in subsample. But if you want to assess the relationship between two variables, for example, our diet and our nutritional problem, we should repeat all the recall for the all samples. Or if we use the SQFFQ. Yeah, so the option is recall or record twice for subsample or SQFFQ. But if you use to assess diet quality, again, it depends on the index. What is the component? I think that's all.
Yeah, thank you so much. So, very clear explanation from you, Mrs. Arinda. So this is may motivate the students, especially we have next proposal terms if they interest to study or research about this. So they may come to you as the expert one to make everything clear on this dietary assessment. Thank you very much for your time, Mrs. Arinda.
You're welcome.
All right, dearly participants, so we are already in the end of these plenary sessions. Thank you for the contribution for all amazing speakers, Professor Rizal Damani and Mrs. Arinda Nusantika MGZ. And now let me send to you in a brief, my conclusions from the two topics. The first topic from Professor Rizal Damani talks about perspective and strategy in the food and nutrition towards the prevention in triple burden of malnutrition in Indonesia. Indonesia is one of the countries with a triple burden of nutritional problems. According to the UNICEF and the World Bank data, Indonesia is ranked 5th in terms of stunting worldwide. 1 in 3 children under 5 in Indonesia have growth stunted. Regarding the national strategy to accelerate stunting reduction, BKKBN received the mandate from Government of Republic Indonesia, that is the concept of convergence as the multi-level program with the platform of client-centered approach. We have the target for speech enhancement in the reduction of stunting by 0.3 to 2.5%. And the program strengthening is according to the attachment to the draft of presidential regulation target to 2024 in reduction stunting. There are 20 indicators in terms of specific and sensitive interventions. And the activities or action programs organized by BKKBN are the first 100 professor talks, exploring futures collaboration, training for provider, establish a task force, webinar of stunting, and the activities of Dahsyat or Dapur Sehat Atasi Stunting or Healthy Kitchen to overcome stunting, the ambassador talks, and others. And this conclusion from the topics of a review of diet quality assessment in nutrition through life cycle. Diet consists of complex food using more than indicators in terms of index to assess diet is more recommended than measuring single indicator. There are some indices to assess diet quality, such as diet quality index, healthy eating index, healthy diet indicator, dietary diversity, etc. To conduct diet quality using index, it should assure quality of data by considering challenges from preparation of the study until the data analysis. Also, before choosing index to measure diet, it is recommended to pay attention to the benefit and limitations of using index compared to single indicator. Also, strength and weakness of each indices. That's all the conclusion for this morning plenary session. Thank you very much for the attention. And now I'm closing the plenary session. Thank you. Thank you, Professor Rizal Damani, and thank you, Mrs. Arinda. So, dearly participants, in a moment, we will continue for the oral presentation session to you all distinguished oral presenter. So this is the first session for the oral presentations in the first International Allied Health Student Conference in the field of nutrition. Let me read and mention the oral presenter name first. In this first session conducted from 11 to 12, we will have the presentation from Dea Ananda Nur Afifah. Maybe Dea Ananda. Have you already in this room?
Yes, I'm here, Miss.
Okay, thank you. And the second one will be from Kristi Permata Putri. The third one will be from Salma Faradila. So the first one from Dea Ananda Nur Afifah will present by the video presentation the effect of group education using online media on self-care for obese among students in Faculty of Nursing Muhammadiyah Jakarta 2021. So the video presentation will run for 10 minutes and will continue directly to the Q&A session for around 5 to 10 minutes. So please welcome for Dea Ananda Nur Afifah.
From studying Faculty of Nursing Muhammadiyah Jakarta, and my assistant in this morning, I would like to thank for the opportunity that has been given to me to present research assessment with the title The Effect of Group Education using Online Media on Self-Care for Obese among Students in Faculty of Nursing Muhammadiyah Jakarta. Chapter 1, Introduction of the Effective Accumulation of Body Fat is the effect of the fatal risk complication of the disease in the future. Okay, 300 million people, 2.8 million people dead in England, 70 to 26% the Indian population is obese. In Indonesia, has increased 5% as much 26 to 31% in Jakarta, 43,792 and faculty of nursing of 824 respondents, 274 people are obese. Self-care. Self-care is important if expect to give treatment of himself either using protein method or tools. Faculty of nursing of 86 respondents, 48 people are for self-care. Research question is the effect of health education on obesity students. Self-care in all faculty of nursing Muhammadiyah of Jakarta. Research purpose, general objective of this study was to determine the effect of providing group education using online media self-care for obese students at the faculty of nursing Muhammadiyah Jakarta. Specific purpose, demographic characteristics of respondents, self-care for obese students was through health education. Self-care for obese students after health education was carried out and self-care before and after health education. Chapter 2, research to review obesity and more than 25 kilograms people obese according to Hermawan 2020 to 156. The factor for obese at the young age, fat intake, carbohydrate intake, fast food consumption pattern, genetic factor, and medication. Impact obesity at young age, tergantung cardiovascular respiration, musculoskeletal, physiology, insulin resistance, dyspepsia, hypertension, and with young age in management self-care obese. Diet, low calorie factors for physical activity, and medical therapy in management method, health education, individual group, instrument education, media online, Zoom meeting, WhatsApp group, Facebook, and Instagram. Chapter 3, research from independent variable health education peer group with online media, Zoom meeting, and WhatsApp group, dependent variable, and self-care. Chapter 4, methodology and data analysis. Research design. In the study, the research design is first experiment with one group treatment and post-test population and sample population. Population 48 undergraduate students with the four self-care sample field respondent includes criteria obesity in the Indonesian Science Faculty for self-care less than 60 and equation criteria when the respondent does not participate in education activity until the end the respondent will explain. Research phase at the Faculty of Nursing Muhammadiyah Jakarta. Research and the research in June 2021. Beneficial involvement and conflict injustice. Research procedure proposal assessment by respondent and after the respondent proper information. People one group one and group two how education first meeting obesity material 50 minutes and second meeting self-care material 15 minutes short education during number 3 WhatsApp group for 7 day meeting self-care after education into the questionnaire. Okay, next, uniform analysis descriptive frequency, confidence, interval, mean, median, and SD will be used before the analysis dependent difference. Chapter 5, this program but I can start with two focus univariate and bivariate. Bivariate the presentation entry, age, gender, and self-management, and bivariate events for self-care management of health. You can start with the table 5.1 univariate. Participative participants ranging from semester 2, 4, 6, and 8. They are men. 5 respondents have 16.7% and women 25 respondents. 83.3% and distribution of respondents 21.2 and SD 1.53 and J minimum 18 maximum 25. Next, the outline distribution of self-care according to the first and second measurement in the Faculty of Nursing self-care before 29.57. Professor respondent conducted measuring using dimension questionnaire for education and control eating and physical activity tend to be fat and often consume junk food and self-care after 44.17 after the respondent received education responded to the week of control or diet and physical activity of mentioned gender, there was one gender study, 25 women. According to the result 2020, with a sample of 217 responding of students Fakulty of Muslim Muhammadiyah Jakarta, many as 243 or 89.3 research Diana Dikaka, obesity may occur in women because the nutrition intake by consume sugar effort in drink more than 55% as well. The woman will have with the physical activity at the risk of obesity. Okay, the result of research data show that the young age is 18 years and the oldest 24 years of brain age, 20 to 21 entering into the older productive age. The age of students for strata 1 or S1 general ranging from 18 to 24 years according to Love in Nuriati 2012. Gunarsa in Sweden 2012, the youngest someone in is your work can for 20 and up in 30 according to Priyanto the productive F 15 to 64 is effective of chance. The result of study of the result of statistics with the value of p-value 0.00 interval above 5% increase effect of self-care in Muslim student Muhammadiyah Jakarta who are obese. In this zona peer group comes to in Fatona, Ambarwati Dekaka. Next, Ambarwati Dekaka, affecting of peer group activity against weight loss and present body fat intake exhaustion. The significant difference in the offering self-care intervention group before after education, there was different physical activity resulting in the weight loss of 2.5 kilogram and increase and rising to treatment subject or 61.5% compared to the unable to treat group 42.2%. And conclusion, character of respondent, increased most female gender or 83.3% with an apparent age 21 years and apparent self-care value after implementation of education from 29.57 to 44.7 mean the increases self-care for an obese student in the Faculty of Nursing Jakarta, so that increase the influence of peer group education using online media and self-care is student in the Faculty of Nursing Muhammadiyah Jakarta. For education, suggestion for education institution, as well as education information students for programs that are scheduled every week. For research, for future research is the expected data editing on the variable cognition rate and body mass index education with minimum counseling in order to keep students away from the effect of the discussed caused by obesity. In this documentary of health education, and this control person I send to WhatsApp group every day in 7 days. Thank you for attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you for the presentation from Ms. Dea Ananda. So, dearly participant, is there any question, please, for Ms. Dea Ananda? So please, we will wait for 2 minutes, maybe, if there is question for Ms. Dea Ananda. All right. Thank you, Ms. Dea Ananda, for your presentation. Now we will continue for the second presentation from Kristi Permata Putri, yogurt drink formulation with the extract of avocado seeds, Verse Americana meal as a functional drink source of antioxidants.
Ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce myself. My name is Rizal, a student of Nutrition. So today I would like to present some research about yogurt formulation with the extract of avocado as a functional drink source of antioxidant. I will explain to you about then research framework, research methodology, and result and discussion and conclusion. The age for that 73% of all of them will with cardiovascular disease and most disease but respiratory disease is yet there's less than means they have inshallah 34% in the age of less than show the disease specifically in Western country itu resistant dan the most disease that affected is hypertension, by asthma, and diabetes, and cancer. In this slide, I will discuss further antioxidant consumption that with the oxidation process by teaching with that if the free radical in our body increase and the natural antioxidant in our body increase, it proteins and seeds, but on the contrary, the antioxidant, the free radical increase and produce levels of antioxidants. How why avocado seeds work? According to the animal, avocado seed possess an average antioxidant This high antioxidant activity can be considered as one of the essential food with rich antioxidant. Acid or steroidal smoking techniques, which the benefits are great blood pressure, cholesterol level, and glucose level. It is the problem. Next, the research general is the discover the antioxidant activity in production of avocado extract with hedonic test and then specific objective test the organ is and acceptance, then to analyze and specific test and education the research side that are used start with randomized design, external setting of the environment. Then the location and time to produce the work is done at our house. Proper chemical testing was carried out at signal level 4 West Java in December 2020 until the population and research people consists of 3,500 addition of person extra is 100 addition of schoolnya graduates dan researchers CNC and were added in several so the distinguished the trade formula is only the addition of efficiency. This is how the process of analyzing data as was carried using the asbestos and the head of test was done using asbestos. While the chemical test directly some invested. But now we moving on certain solutions. Therefore, it showed that the result of the highest average value in texture indicator was found in F, and the lowest was found in F3. The result of the highest test indicator was found in F3, and the lowest was found in F2. Normally, it can be said the significant value in as an texture indicator is not distributed. This is because the p-value is less than 5% confidence level. The result of the personal express analysis, it can be seen that there are significant differences in median of aroma and texture indicator in the three formulas. The result of statistical test obtained a value less than 5%. There is no difference in test indicator with the median of three formulas. So the statistical test result obtained is the lower indicators. There are different in F2 and F3, then F2 and F3. This is the aroma indicator, then F1 and F3. Next, this is the texture indicator. There are different in F1 and F3, then F2 and F3. So this is the result of hedonic test. Of the hedonic analysis from the aspect of color, aroma, taste, and texture, it was found that the most by reading was like the data. Then the second was F2 with the data, while the lowest report was F3 with the data. The result of the considered yes, was found data is on the rank of F3 with the data, and the third rank is found in the some of the structure so that the highest viscosity value was and the second rank was found in
juga kalau itu jalan jadi bang baca dua sama gua nggak uji ya nggak nyalain ini sampai wujud
show the highest pH value. Second rank Share reports the result of the test with statistical information remain with value less than 5%, which means there are significant differences. The average result of the test with the highest percentage will not now worse than as the highest the analysis result is found and the lowest found was found in this was considered analysis result is found in this was the highest H value was found in one and the lowest was found in so it is because it has the smallest antioxidant activity that the liver has used input and can be accepted by I think that's all. Here.
Yeah, so perhaps we have a technical problem for the video of Christy Permata Putri. So I will give you 5 minutes in a brief to conclude your presentation, Christy Permata Putri, if you are willing to provide for us. Christy Permata Putri.
Okay, Miss. Based on the research objective on my research, it can be concluded as follows. First, the result of organoleptic test with statistical calculation obtained p-value less than 5%, which means that there are significant difference in color, aroma, texture indicator of avocado seed extract yogurt. Then the average result of hedonic test of public acceptance with the highest total percentage with like criteria was in first formula with the percentage of 80.15%, and the second rank was second formula with like criteria with a percentage of 76.1%. Then the third formula has a neutral criteria with percentage only 54.45%. Then the highest viscosity, the highest antioxidant activity analysis result was found in formula in first formula. Then the lowest was found in formula 2. And the highest viscosity analysis result was found in first formula, and the lowest was found in second formula. The highest pH value was found in formula 1, then the lowest was found in third formula.
Okay, thank you, Christy. Thank you for your additional conclusion for this presentation. So, participant, we're welcoming to the question for Christy. Is there any question for Christy? All right, we already have a question in the chat box for Christy. Maybe two questions here from Nindi and from Krishna. From Nindi, as we know that in avocado seeds contain tannins, and when combined with milk, then in it will inhibit the absorption of milk protein. So how to handle it?
Okay, thank you for the question, Nindi. How to reduce tannin in this product is by boiling. This method can reduce tannin in avocado seeds according to previous research from Talabi et al. 2016 reported that boiling avocado seeds for 25 minutes can reduce tannin by 75%.
Okay, thank you. And the second one question from Krishna. I want to ask, what is the cutoff for strong, moderate, and weak antioxidant activity?
Okay, thank you for the question. The cutoff for antioxidant activity is said to as very strong antioxidant if the IC50 value is less than 50. Then strong antioxidant activity is about 50 until 100. Then moderate antioxidant activity is about 100 until 150. Then weak antioxidant activity is about 100, 51 until 200. And so the smaller the value of IC50 is, the higher the antioxidant activity mass.
Okay, thank you for the answer, Ms. Christy. So now we will continuing to the third presentation. But before we continue to the third presentation, I would like to inform you two things. The first, if you have a problem, a technical problem by your video, such as the audio not so enough to hear or anything else, you may present your presentation in live. Yeah, we are offering you to present in live in the short duration time, 10 minutes, and then we'll continue to the Q&A. And the second information is we will select the best presenter, best oral presenter in this room, for all presenter in this room and in the end of the session, in the closing conference, we will announce the winner of the best presenter from this room. Okay. Thank you. And now we are continuing to the third session of presentation by Salma Faradila. The relationship between the application of the gluten-free, casein-free diet and the physical activity of children with autism spectrum disorder from Speakers Papua. Please welcome Ms. Salma Faradila.
Hello everyone, I'm Salma Faradila from Speakers Papua. I would like to present research the relationship between the application of gluten-free diet with physical activity in autism spectrum disorder children. Next, the outline of discussion that I will present is introduction, method, results and discussion, and the last is conclusion. Children with autism spectrum disorder have developmental disorders that cause barriers to socializing, communication, and behavior. Have you ever heard that children with autism have special diet? Yes, children with autism need a gluten-free casein-free diet to improve metabolic condition, so they can reduce the physical symptoms of ASD. The prevalence of children with autism disorder will increase every year. According to WHO in 2019, 1 in 160 children in this world has autism spectrum disorder. And according to CDC 2016, in the United States, about 18.5 per 1,000 children, or 1 to 54 children have ASD. And then New Jersey is the highest number of autism children in US. 1 to 32 children have ASD. In Indonesia, about 12,800 children had autism on 2015. In West Java, around 2010 to 2016, about 140,000 children are autism under 15 years old. In Denpasar, Bali, 65% parents do not implement the GFCF diet with children with autism. By APNICA 2010, some of the possible physical activities for children with autism are gross and fine motor exercise by Rahayu 2020. Based on research by APNICA 2020, there is a relationship between the application of the GFCF diet and motoric development activities of children with autism. However, Aditya 2016 said that there was no relationship between the application of the GFCF diet and physical activities in children with autism. Aims of the research is general, to know the relationship between the application of the GFCF diet with children's physical activity. Specific aim. First, to describe the characteristics of children with autism and their families, the application of GFCF diet and physical activity of children with autism. Second, to analyze the relationship between the application of the GFCF diet and physical activity of children with autism. And now we're going to method. This research design is cross-sectional. The location are Rumah Autis Bekasi and Palembang School. The data collection time is November 2020 to February 2021. The application of the gluten-free diet used modified food frequency questionnaire. And physical activity use motoric development of children with autism questionnaire. And now we're going to results and discussion. 1. Respondent characteristics. For gender, the results show that most samples were male, that is 65%. For age, the results show that more samples were child, 66%, age 5 to 10 years old. For parent income, the results show that more samples have low income, 56%. Fathers and mothers education. The results show that more samples are academic education, 72% and 62%. Number 2, univariate analysis. For GFCF diet, the results show that 53% parents did not implement the GFCF diet. For physical activity, the results show that 52% samples have a good physical activity. Number 3, bivariate analysis. The results of the chi-square statistical test obtained a p-value of 0.001. So it can be concluded that there is a relationship between the application of the gluten-free diet and physical activity in children with autism. From the result of the analysis, the odds ratio was 4.943. So children who didn't implement the GFCF diet have 40 times the odds of doing less physical activity compared to children who implement the GFCF diet. The efforts to avoid consuming gluten and casein can actually help children with autism to carry out daily activities and must be also carried out in super disciplined way in order to reduce risks that may arise in the future. That is marked by improved behavior and the development of daily activities. And now, conclusion of the research are: number 1, the results show that more samples were male, that is 65%. Most were children aged 5 to 10 years old, that is 66%. Some more parents, income in the low category, that is 56%. And most father and mother's education were academic with a percentage of 72%. 72% and 62%. Some mothers didn't implement the gluten-free activity diet, 54%. Some more samples had good physical activity, 52%, and less physical activity, 48%. From the results of the Chi-square analysis, show relationship between the application of a gluten-free diet with the physical activity of children with autism spectrum disorder with p-value 0.001 and odds ratio of 4.943, which means the children who didn't implement GFC activity are 4 times more at risk of doing less physical activity than the children who implement the GFC activity. Thank you for your attention. Goodbye.
Thank you for your presentation, Ms. Salma Faradila. So, dearly participant, is there any question for Ms. Salma Faradila? If you are willing to ask in Bahasa Indonesia, we also welcome. Please don't be hesitant to ask. So maybe Ms. Salma, one short question from me. What is your obstacle to conduct this study? Oh, we already have the question from participant. Okay, I will give the chance for the participant first. In your research, it is explained that boys are more likely to have autism. Is there something that causes more boys or girls from OCTI?
Okay, Okti, thank you for your question. According to Optiani 2016, in our brain, we have retinoic acid relay of orphan receptor alpha, or we call RORA, and the testosterone hormone will decrease of RORA's work, so that there will be various body coordination problems. Although not a general cause, high testosterone levels are associated with the risk of autism. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for the answer. Another question for Ms. Salma Faradila. So, dearly participants, we still have 15 minutes in this session before break time. So please, if you want to ask anything, please feel free to ask, don't worry. We may share our ideas to others. We are very pleased for your questions. So maybe I will turn to the first presenter, Ms. Dea Ananda from Muhammadiyah University of Jakarta. Ms. Dea, are you there?
Yes, Miss.
Yes, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you, Miss.
Yeah, thank you for your presentation. I'm interested. This is community development program. Or this is kind of a study, right? Study related to the education. Miss Dea, can you hear me?
Yes, Miss.
Okay, so what is the obstacle? What is the obstacle that you have while you conduct your study about group of education using online media on self-care for obese among students? What is the challenging things in your study? You can also answer in Bahasa Indonesia. Don't worry if you are willing to answer in Bahasa Indonesia.
Yes, Miss. Bahasa Indonesia.
Yes, okay. I will repeat the question in Bahasa Indonesia first. Apakah ada kendala saat menjalankan studinya, saat melaksanakan penelitiannya, kendalanya terkait, di sini kan intervensi edukasi ya, edukasi kepada obes untuk self-care-nya. Nah, itu ada sesuatu yang menantang tidak? Ada sesuatu kendala tertentu yang membuat peneliti mungkin di awal merasa apa namanya, sangat-sangat apa ya namanya, tertantang gitu untuk melakukan penelitian ini. Mungkin sharing saja begitu terkait penelitiannya.
Ya, oke. Tantangannya itu maintain to keep the motivation to run sport and eat healthy to respondent in 7 days.
7 days. Okay, Miss, can you repeat one more time?
Maintain motivation to keep transport and eating health for 7 days.
Okay. Yeah, thank you, Miss Deananda.
Thank you, Miss.
Yeah. So, is there any question for 3 presenter in this first session? All right. So, dearly participant, I guess it's already enough for these 3 presentations for the first session in the oral presentation. So we will continue the second session at 1 p.m. Western Indonesian time to continue with the others oral presentations. So now we are in the break time. So please join us again at 1 p.m. Thank you so much.